Keep Trekking is not just a channel, it's an adventure. So get your boots on and come with us. It's worth the journey. Experience your local landscape. Breathe the air this ancient land has to give us. So let's go.
Welcome to Keep Trekking. Welcome back if there's been a floor. Now today I'm starting my trek at Winscar Reservoir at Dunford Bridge in, well, it comes under Barnsley, but it's not really Barnsley, is it? I've just asked somebody about these gates. They said they don't close them, so I'm hoping they don't, otherwise I'm stuck in that car park for need and I've got no scran. So it's about 4 mile again, just a nice trek out. I've left it late today. It's nearly 4:30 in the afternoon. It's a 4 mile trek over the mills, round the 2 reservoirs. So let's go.
Once leaving the car park, I turned left. The first views of the reservoir in front of me, I knew that this was going to be a special trip. Winscar Reservoir is situated at Dunford Bridge. It's a compensation reservoir. It was constructed between 1972 to 1975 and is the headwaters of the River Don. Its administration is Yorkshire Water. I headed through a gate on my left hand side and started to gradually climb. This was only for a short period of time, as at the top I turned right and followed the fence line on my right hand side. The path was narrow but nice. The Pennine Sailing Club is a non-profitable organisation and relies on its members giving up their spare time. The clubhouse was originally built in 1993, but its recent extension took place in 2013.
Well, walking on this path, I think that's put an end to that little bit. I think I'm going to scale that. So it looks like round I go.
Once round, I continued on this narrow path above the reservoir to the far end, most westerly direction.
That ain't a bad view of Winscar Reservoir at bottom, is it? Very nice. Just heading up to Plains Plantation at the moment, and then heading round. That's Plains Plantation up there. Then heading all the way across to Snailsden, which is just over the distance. Back round another reservoir, and then all the way back to where I parked my car. It's about 4.1 miles, so it's not too bad. I can hear a plane. I'll catch you in a minute. I've been spied, guys. Don't look really happy. Nice. You lot stay up there. He looks a beastie boy.
Once out of danger and over the fence from the cows, I headed downhill towards the bottom of the valley.
Don't like them beasties. They're alright when they're at the other side of the fence. Jumped over that gate just over there, so heading down this path to the edge of the very back of the reservoir, to be fair, amongst all this lot. Don't like this stuff at best of times, but hey ho, what are we to do? Part of trekking, especially when you're walking around resis. You just have to watch yourself, make sure you don't get ticks. Don't like them things. But I survived that one. Just.
As I continued down through the ferns towards the edge of the reservoir, I came to a wee crossing. The camera really doesn't do it justice. It was actually wider than it looked. I had to jump this one. I looked up and I saw one solitary sheep guarding its territory. Thou shalt not pass. As I finally reached the stream, I hopped, skipped and jumped across and headed now uphill. The fern got thicker and higher as I continued upwards on my trail.
Whew. Just having a 2-minute pit stop. It's absolutely riddled with clegs and flies and midges. Just have to come through that lot. Not the best of stuff to be coming to and through, sorry, and it's up here on me. It'll be like that. Like a man coming through that. I've just checked my scent, I can't see anywhere I've managed to get bitten or anything, or midges are out, or even worse, ticks. But I've still got that lot to get through. Hopefully that's not as bad. That was quite bad. But what a beautiful backdrop. A gorgeous evening. Don't like looking at that sky though. That can do one. Big time. Let's crack on. There's loads of planes. I think we'll come across here tonight, sort of bank across towards Manchester, which is over that direction. Where the sun is. Oh, correct, bud. Let's crack on before I get bitten alive.
I continued and the fern got thicker for a while, until eventually it receded and just became just a sketchy path. Hope I've seen back of this for a while.
It's a lovely sketchy path, this one, right on the edge of the back of Winscar Reservoir. Got to get to far end before I cross and start going up that side and right up there and over that hill. Lovely.
Looking back from whence I came, looking across Winscar Reservoir and admiring the scenery, the vista is absolutely out of this world.
When I'm shooting pens there by the looks of it, so there must be a few more on here somewhere. Not seen any, but they're never far apart. I'm just glad it's not that season. Not for another week anyway.
As I leave the sketchy paths behind and follow past the gun pens, I now head towards, on this lovely track, Grange Plantation at the far end of Winscar Reservoir.
Oh, it's even got steps to this one. A bit of a bridge. It's a better path. I know it looks a bit sketchy. It's a better path than walking through all that bracken. Way better. Oh, look at them views. Looking across towards Snailsden. That farm in the distance with the trees. Looks like there's a bit of activity. There's dogs barking and a few vehicles moving. Well, I'll be heading across to that very shortly. But first, I've got to get across here. As you can see the trail in the distance. It'll span me around. back across that direction. There's a bit of blue skies over there as well. I hope that's coming my way. I don't think it is. And I should come out at that farmhouse and then over that hill towards my next destination. Yeah, must be where they all park when they're coming up. It's called Fish House. Yeah. There are steps up there to another gun pen. I've just come along there and that sky's looking a bit more not as good as it did. The Fish House. Right, I didn't know they named them, but there we go. I shall continue down to my right and over and up there. I'm pondering in a bit of a quandary. It's 25 to 6. I'm not even halfway around this one. Two factors really. That weather front don't look too cracking. I've got all the way up there to that farm and over and back round, which is a good 2.5 miles, possibly nearly 3. And I don't know if I'm going to have enough daylight or manage to keep out of the rain. I have got my waterproofs, but let's just hope that rain stays away. But it's the daylight that's bugging me more than anything. And they wasn't 100% sure about that car park. They said they've been at 7 o'clock at night before, and don't know what they were doing at 7 o'clock at night, don't ask. But they were 7 o'clock at night before, and says it were open. But I don't know. The last thing I want is to be locked in. So I may have to cut this one short and not do the second reservoir that I wanted to do. And once I get to the farm, there's a road that carries straight on that takes me back and cuts quite a lot of the trail out. So instead of being 4.1, the trail would be about 3 miles. Then I would be about halfway. What's kicking me at the moment is if I've got plenty of daylight and it don't rain for the next few hours, I'm going to be kicking myself, aren't I? So I'm going to have to think about what I'm going to do. The clouds are getting lower and that's not a good sign, is it? So I've got some thinking to do.
I reached the River Don, well, more like a stream really, and my mind started to ponder on what decision I was going to take. Should I cut this short or should I carry on? Let's go uphill first and then I'll decide.
That don't look the most safest of walks, does it? Another few bad storms and I think that's going to come down. Just hope somebody's not walking past when it does. I certainly don't look safe. Never mind, not going to come down on me today. Carry on up.
As I reached the top, I followed the track towards Snailsden. While looking back across to the reservoir, I'd made my decision and I was going to stick to it.
Well, I'm just approaching the farm and I've looked to the map. Even though the way straight past the farm and across is more direct, I'll still come out of the same place. And by the looks of it, it's not that much difference. So I think what I'm going to do, this sky's holding off at the moment, it's still pretty light, pretty bright. I'm going to go up to the other reservoir and walk around and do the trick that I was going to do. And the reason is, I found a beautiful feather. And that's a nice sign. I'm going to take that as a sign. Another plane. You can see that. So a feather and a plane and some sheep. It's got to be a sign. That's a beast and a half, that one. So I'm going to go to the other resi and do the trek as should be. Hopefully I'll have enough time. Don't get dark till what? Way gone, nearly 9 o'clock. I've got hours yet. Time is it? Let's have a look. 10 to 6. So it's not took me long from over there to here really. I'm just going into the farmyard now, so catch you in a few minutes.
Before I reached the farm, my trail took me across the field to my left. Very sketchy, and I had to keep my eyes peeled to find the path. But at last I found it and followed the trail. One last look down towards Snailsden farmhouse before I headed uphill towards my next destination. For the path, I came to a break in the wall where I'd veered to my right, and the path continued on an uphill climb. At the very top, I came to another break in the wall where the ground levelled off. I came to a small path and I veered to my right. This brought me to a small trail which I followed in a northerly direction. As I continued to follow the track, the views just opened up like a box full of jewels.
Wow, what a view. I can see Emily Moor mast as I pan round. I can see Huddersfield as I come round. It's amazing. Castle Hill at Almondbury. See for miles. What a view. There's some sort of quarry in the distance. Maybe. I've got a feeling that I was over near them woods at the other side, and I came and I looked across at that quarry in one of my previous videos when I did Homfirth Circular. Just looks familiar. Even though I'm on the opposite side, I'm sure it was from over that direction. That doesn't look good, does it? As long as it stays high, I'm not bothered. No choice now, but to carry on. Still bright enough for my shades though.
I got to the bottom of the trail, I turned right, and I saw the first views of Harden Reservoir in the distance. Looked a million miles away, but I was upon it before I knew.
So just past halfway, just passing Harden Reservoir in the bottom there. It's a fraction of the size of Winscar. So we've got to go down to the dam wall, across the wall, and then back up and round, back down towards Winscar. Like I said, just over halfway. It's still bright enough for my shades. Keep them on as long as I can. Don't take your eyes as much. But it's beautiful. I'm glad I decided to carry on and do the trek. As long as that stays high, I'm not bothered. Do what it wants when it gets back to the car. I ain't bothered then. I just don't fancy getting dreek wet through. Oh dear. Not bad, is it? It's just a shame you haven't got the skies that we had last week and the summer so far. It's just typical really, because I'm on annual leave. Happens every time. I'm out of people that's told me to get back to work this week. It's astonishing. Let's work his way down to Downwall. Catch you in a minute.
Harden Reservoir. It's a lot smaller than its sister next door, and I can't really find any information about when it was built, but I presume it was built around about the same time as Winscar Reservoir was.
Since I'm about halfway, or just over halfway, I'm going to do a very special shout out to wonderful people. Sometimes they might think I'm being a bit funny, but I'm really not. I love you guys. I love you guys to bits. The t-shirt that I'm wearing, they had made for us. Wonderful, beautiful donation to us, and it's very much appreciated. I'm wearing it today in honour of them too, to be fair. So Gary and Emily Beale from Clan Trek, this shout's out for you guys. Love you both.
Got to the bottom of the trail and I came to the dam wall. I turned left, proceeded to cross. Harden Reservoir is elevated above Winscar. There's a watercourse that leads from Harden down into Winscar Reservoir at the very end of the northwestern side of the reservoir at Winscar. At the end of the dam wall, it veers to its right and through a gate. Always remember to close the gate, and if it's got a latch, make sure you close it. At the end of the lane, we came to Dunford Road, where I turned right and continued for about 300 yards.
Medic! You can't believe I was right over that far end on that hillside not long back. Can you? It's all the way around, down, far end, back down the reservoir, and then back to here. That's Winscar again. So where I'm heading is right over that far corner, near the boats. It's not been a bad wee trek. That sky's holding off. Hopefully for the next half a mile that I've got to go. But I've enjoyed this one, and the shades have managed to stop on. Even though it's clouded over, it's still bright and sunny. If it doesn't seem it, the sun is still coming through. Just let me get out of the way of these cars, because they certainly fly up here. But yeah, I've enjoyed this one. It's been a nice evening stroll. 4.1 I think it is when I finished. But whatever, look at that. Why wouldn't you want to get out into this? Stop sitting behind your TV screens and get out and do something. I'm not preaching, you're alright. Oh, another fast moving car. And I have shift coming up here. slow down for me, I think. Catch you up at the bankside.
I soon reached the north entrance to Winscar Reservoir, followed the waymarker, Yorkshire Water, towards the car park. There's a few different car parks at Winscar Reservoir, and this is just one of them. If you ever fancied a day out, or just a walk round Winscar, there's plenty of places to park. I don't usually comment on the planes that I film, but this one was truly a beast, and I'm sure it's worth a comment. As the day were getting late and the sun shone through the now gathering clouds, it made a truly beautiful spectacle of the crystal lake below. Further, I saw a bench. Bit too late in the trail for that now, as I was almost back.
I nearly walked past this, but I've just read it. I love it. So it says, legs are wobbly, feeling puffed, have a perch, oil the rust. That is brilliant. I love that.
A little further I came across a rundown building, all boarded up. I presume these used to be the old toilet block. It's a shame they're all boarded up and not now in use. Doing quite nice for such a long trails round these two reservoirs to at least have some public convenience, but I suppose the sign of the times. So many toilet blocks are now boarded up and in disuse. It's a shame really. As I headed towards the finish, I crossed the final bit of the down wall, but I still had to look at something else.
Just looking down onto the hamlet of Dunford Bridge. It's not a bad wee hamlet. Somewhere underneath us is the old tunnels, the Transpennine Express that used to run through. Done that walk a few times. The TPT, the Transpennine Trail. Well, bang underneath us somewhere is the tunnels that takes you all the way up to Manchester. It's a nice walk, and that's also a nice wee hamlet down in the valley.
I looked back one last time before leaving the reservoir and heading for home. It's a beautiful place and always worth a visit. I have been here a few times in the past, but never done a trail like I've done today. Only ever saw the northern side. It's one beautiful location and a great trek.
Well, it's definitely looking more like rain now. It's got a bit darker than clouds. As you can see, I'm only about a quarter mile if that back to the car. I mean, that's your boating place there, the yachting club. Pennine Yachting Club, I think it is. So not a million miles. 5 minutes but max to get back. So hopefully, as long as I'm back in my car, it can do what it wants. But what a beautiful, absolutely stunning location to come out on a trek and make a vlog for you guys today. That is absolutely beautiful.
As As I reached my car park, I was so relieved to find the gates hadn't been locked and my car was still safe.
Well, I'm back in the car park next to my car on a beautiful bench that they've supplied for me. Can't ask more than that, can I? That trail was quite nice. It was a bit sketchy at one point. Once I got past the fens and everything and didn't get no ticks, luckily. It was a really nice trek. Quite enjoyed that one. The sky is clouding over really proper dark now. I mean, I'm going to take my shades off once I finish this video. It looks like it may rain shortly, but it's stayed off, which is good for me. It's not been bad. It's been quite warm, very humid, because obviously it looks like a storm may be brewing. As long as I'm back in car, I'm on my way, I'm not particularly bothered. But I quite enjoyed that one. It was I wanted to do this area for quite a while. I've done the Dunford, from Dunford Bridge I've done over to Manchester over the Transpennine Trail. That was nice. I did it last year on the hottest day of the year. Ended up with heat stroke. But there you go, you live and learn. But yeah, this one was really nice. Barn 2 reservoirs. I know I still can't say that, can I? Reservoirs. But I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'm so glad that I made the decision not to cut it short and do the full trail. So it says 4.1, but it's always a bit more than what it says on the trails. It's usually about another half a mile on it, so it might have been about 5 mile thereabouts. It felt a bit like 5 mile than 4.1. Ups and downs, it's had its sketchy moments. I've got to get that in, haven't I? It's had its the scenery on this one is second to none. It really is beautiful around here. You're on the Peak District National Park, which is on our doorstep from where I live. I live in South Yorkshire, but it's still on a doorstep. It's only 2 minutes, well, maybe 2 minutes, but about 10 minutes away and you're into Peak District National Park. It's stunning, northern part of it. So what can I say? But it's been an absolute blast, this one. So I'm going to say keep trekking. J-Art, till next time. Trek on. Take care of yourselves and each other. Just hope this rain stays away for a wee bit longer. Catch you again.